Hi, I'm Cindy Reddish, and I just wanted to thank Linda Crothers for doing this. And I think she's probably one of the best professionals to do that because her riding is so beautiful. And I've always said I wish I could ride like Linda, but closer? Okay. Okay. So you can also watch, as far as her equitation is concerned, how still her leg is, how flat her back is, how she's with the horse. All that's important. But the most important thing you have to do here is to find the distance to 8 fences. That's more important than the beautiful rider that comes in and has a chip or doesn't find a distance or changes their rhythm or doesn't get a good lead change on the corner. All of that is the most important thing in this class. I want to see somebody that comes into the ring and I say, I want her to ride my horse. I want that person to show my horse. So that's what you're looking for in this class, above and beyond or more importantly than the equitation itself. We're going to kind of break down the course just a little bit. It's not a real complicated course, which sometimes is a little harder when the course isn't very hard. You have to make sure that everything looks a little bit better. Everything has to be run smoother because there's not a trot fence where somebody may have a beautiful go and then miss the trot fence or something like that. So the first thing you want to see is somebody that enters into the ring, has a purpose, has their eyes up, looking well ahead, and you say, wow, that's a good presentation. You also want to see a good turnout, of course, which we all know about that. And you want to establish your rhythm. You can go to your first fence either by making a courtesy circle, or you can go straight to it. The degree of difficulty, of course, is going straight to the jump, but do we want to be difficult? If we take the difficult route and we mess up, it's worse than making your circle. And let me just say something about a courtesy circle. Everybody says that your courtesy circle is to establish your rhythm. Yes, you want to establish your rhythm, but you also want your horse in that courtesy circle to be listening to you. You may press him forward a little bit, balance him. Is he listening? Is he going to wait for me? Or is he going to move up for me? So that's what you do in your courtesy circle more than just getting him out in front of your leg galloping. So Linda's going to go, let's see. Let's do the first fence, the second, third, and then the roll back here. And then if we have questions about that part of the course, we'll go on, and then we'll put it all together. Might want to come this way. See how nicely she kept her horse balanced through the corner, bending a little bit, watching where it needs to go. She's following the horse's mouth with her hands. She has a good release. There's 2 kinds of releases. Balance her back. The other thing that's so great about when you watch Linda is she gets her horse back with invisible aids. You don't see her lifting her hands, pulling back. It's mostly just her bringing her upper body back, stepping in her heels. It's what I call invisible aids. That's what I like to see. So, any questions about the first part of the course there? Pretty easy? Okay, so from there, we have the bending line. Now, some bending lines have numbers to them. This one is just jump them as 2 fences because he said it was like 120 feet. So there's definitely no number to that. Also, a bending line is really an optional amount of strides. You can fade out a little bit, add, you can make it more direct, have less. So the judges in this class are not going to be told that there's a number here. It's just right. Yeah, okay. So she's going to start from her oxer. Oh, she doesn't like that oxer. Now, a lead change, I would say, should be asked for there, which she got nicely, but added another one there in front, which is not good. And there was a little change of rhythm there, and of course that's something that you do not want to have, is a change of rhythm. What's that? Okay, so now we'll put the whole course together. Let's hope the horse had a little look at the jumps and we won't have the little stutters in there. But of course, it happens. You want to just jump that one more time? Okay, so she knows, okay, so let's just look at what just happened there. She knows that horse is looking at that jump. Did you see what she did? Dropped her weight into her saddle, dropped her seat into the saddle, giving that horse a little more support, and that's an effective rider. And when she did that, the horse said, "Ooh, she's trying to ride pretty, I know," and so that time she rode very, very effectively. So that's going to be the good equitation rider, one that can take a problem and fix it without losing the distance to that jump. So actually it's kind of good we're getting a mistake here and there. So she's making her courtesy circle. She's establishing her rhythm. Notice the horse raises up a little bit. She put it back into its frame and said, "Hey, pay attention to me. Here we go." She doesn't let her horse drop its shoulder around the corner. She goes straight to the end of the arena. Asked her to move up just a little bit there, but you didn't see her change her body position. Balanced her back up before her turn. Kept the rhythm through the corner. Didn't let her get behind her leg. And she rode that jump nicely because she gave her a really educated ride just a minute ago. Nice lead change right exactly on the bend. And finished on a nice jump. Noticed how right there at the end, her horse says, "I think we're done." And she started to suck back a little bit. Linda said, "No, we're going to keep our rhythm because the judges are still watching us. So don't just land off the last fence, say, 'Oh, we're done,' or my problem always was I'm getting to the last fence, I stop riding before the last fence. So you want to keep riding to the last fence and then land and keep riding till the end of your course. You can either do a sitting trot or a posting trot for your courtesy circle, whichever you feel like you do better. Don't do a sitting trot if you're a terrible sitting trot person. Do a posting trot. But here, you're in here, and I tell my kids, you're on stage. This is the amount of time you have to be on stage. Take your time, make it look really well. Keep a constant, steady flow to your course, and make it look like you're having fun and it's easy. Any questions about anything? Nothing? Okay, I think we are good. Oh, okay. Yes, we couldn't do the other two courses because, of course, this one's set. Are there any questions about, to me, this is probably, and it should be, the most difficult course out of the three, but with the bending line, that changes something a little bit. Are there any questions on the select class? Yes?
I think one of the courses has the, like, what it calls with the big flowers coming home, like the first is on.
Yes.
Is it best to just make a wide sweeping turn to the back, you know what I mean, for your first jump, or is an inside turn available an option too?
Okay, the question is, on one of the courses, the pink flowers coming this way is your first fence. You know your horse, you know your rider, or if you're a trainer, you know your rider. Of course, the more degree of difficulty and you do it well, the better score you're going to get. But don't take that risk if you feel like you're going to make a mistake. I would rather see a nice flowing turn. Now, since that would be my first fence, I really don't think I would take too much of a risk. If it was like you could possibly do your roll back here in front of this jump, it's kind of tight, but we don't know how it will be set over in the other arena. Is that arena a little bit longer than this, or is it going to be exactly there? I think the way he has it drawn, because he has so many feet from the center, it will probably be most likely that. Some people will say, oh, I think I can make this inside turn here. You better be good. Any other questions? Oh, okay. And we're going to pass the bucket for donations for the Professional Horseman Crisis Fund. If you would please donate, that would be great. A lot of us have needed that along the way and benefited. I just read an article that horse trainers make roughly $10 an hour, if that. So I know I don't make that much most of the time. So if we get in trouble, the crisis fund helps us out. I know one person, their farm flooded, another person was in an accident, and it seems that little bit of extra money certainly helps us out. Yeah. We're going to do the next one, which is the hunter under saddle, the working hunter under saddle. What's that?
They take the jumps out?
No, they're staying in till 10. So you can school. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Since we got you here, would you guys talk about bending lines in general? Please.
Okay. Bending lines in general. what would you like to know, Anne?
When to change, when not to change, unrelated distances that get counted anyway, so you better do something with them, that kind of thing.
Okay, so bending lines. Now, this bending line is really a bending line. So there really shouldn't be an option here to change leads. But on the other hand, I have a horse that lands right. I am sure that he will hold that right lead all the way to the jump. Will I get less points than the person that does the nice lead change right in the middle? Yes. But if if there's someone that does the lead change and their horse speeds up on the lead change, or hops up in the air, or doesn't make it as smooth as someone that keeps the counter canter, you could still have the same score. So that's one bending line. Now, there are other bending lines, say, don't know if I have, say there's a jump here, and you can jump that jump at an angle, and you can be straight from this jump to that jump, and you landed on the right lead. It's no different than you landing on your right lead here, in my opinion. Now, that's my opinion. Somebody else may say, oh, I want them to land left. But if that person is making a straight line, and this jump is over here a little bit, they've angled this first jump, the horse jumps in, has a straight line, why would you want it to change leads? There really isn't any reason to. That's kind of, is there anything else about the bending line you wanted to?
I guess just a lot of, it kind of wraps around my thinking about if we understand an unrelated distance to be more than 6 strides, and you get a line that.
Oh, that's off stride?
Yeah.
Okay, so in my opinion, you have a bending line that's a little off stride. It's very easy to make it look good. So, here's your jump. It's a bending line. I'm here and I'm a little bit long, but the jump's at an angle. You can move this way and that makes the distance shorter. You can move this way and that can make the distance longer. So if you have already angled your jump and you go, oh, I'm going to be a little deep. So instead of, okay, you're jumping it this way, I'm going to be a little deep, go this way a little bit more, and that makes your distance longer. If you're going to be a little long, go this way a little bit, and look, the distance gets a little shorter. So you can change that. You can also change a bending line by fading out a little bit. Say it's off stride and you need to fit it in, so you can fade your line out a little bit, or you can make it a little more direct. So to me, a bending line is a little bit easier. I mean, you can fake it a little bit easier than just a straight line. Does that help as far as the unrelated distance? Just fade your bend out if you need to fit more feet in, or make it more direct